Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen news, this time for the week ending the 19th of March. We take an official look at Star Citizen infos from the week and make it into a roast dinner of news and then slice it and serve it with homemade Yorkshire puddings and gravy. I'm actually pretty hungry. Most of the images in the background were taken from the latest AtV Focus, where at the end they showed some visuals of the ships they were working on, specifically the Reclaimer, Javelin, Razor and Hull C. A link to a more in-depth look at that in the description, because it was quite an info dump they dropped on us with the AtV this week. 2.6.2 schedule update. So there continues to be minor delays with some of the networking optimization and little bits and bobs for that patch, but the patch could go to the ETF, the Evocati test flight, any time now, with a wider PTU during the week. The live release of 2.6.2 is still estimated for the 23rd of March. The patch should give us some quality of life updates, as well as some much needed balance and fixes, and could contain a little sneaky thing or two that they put in sometimes that's not listed on the patch at the moment, but we'll have to wait and see. Spectrum update. In the short term, so Spectrum is this communication platform that they're starting to move everything over to forums and communication-wise. So short term, they were going to be adding thumbnails and a Reddit-style thread system to that forum section there in the main section there. Spectrum has a very, very quick iteration cycle of around 2 weeks, where the community's feedback and requests shape that communication platform as the way you kind of see it today by how we use it. Medium term, they have want to get native support for mobile platforms there as well, and longer term, they want in-game integration, VoIP, so that's voice over IP, in-game and out-of-game, and command and sub-channels and all that sort of stuff, so you can organise raids and things. They will also be giving us some more information on orgs and groups functionality very shortly. The Delta Patcher. So Turbulent are the guys who make Spectrum, but also will be implementing the Delta Patcher, which sounded like, when reading the monthly report, that it was on the longer term schedule currently, though I believe that Austin are actually creating the system for it, and they have an internal working model, and it will be in our hands as soon as possible. Updates on the Delta Patcher as we get them. It's a very important thing. It will allow us to download very small amounts of information to update the game, rather than 30 gigabytes to update the game, which is what we have to at the moment, which does not make the game particularly accessible to some folks. Around the Verse. This week's Around the Verse started off and ended with a focus on the UK studio, and was, in my opinion, the best and most informative AtV we've ever had. At the end, they did a little sneak peek at loads of ships they've been working on and the visuals for them, which is being shown in the background, as I said earlier, but the information they also imparted to us was the player interaction system now allows for better interaction with objects and the inner thought system. New tools have replaced the old systems for setting up missions for Squadron 42 in the Persistent Universe, for a more powerful and optimized experience for the developers, as well as better scaled integration with SolEd, the macro scale universe and object container editor that they use. Locomotion blending into a full run and then back down to a walk and then a stop have been completed to make it look a lot better. AI pathing has also been improved. There's improvements in optimization to lighting, lots and lots of that it seems, and making the lighting look a lot better, as well as not making it consume the world in resources. Networking has finished with the serialized variables and message ordering features for some of the network optimization stuff, though it might get a little more love after testing in 2.6.2. They are also finishing the multiplayer mega map now. Weapons are being animated, polished and finished for first-person shooter-based things, including the P4AR, the P8SC, the P8 AR, the Devastator shotgun, the shoulder-mounted railgun, which looks exceptionally cool, as well as the Gallant and the Arrowhead sniper rifle. Further work on the oxygen and sprinting system for stamina. There's been lots of work on the female rig and final posing for that. More facial work going on at the Derby studio. They do facial animation there, mostly, and mocap-based stuff. Work has also been going on the Aegis Reclaimer's interior and blockout, as we can probably see from some of the background shots as well that you've seen. The Reclaimer was a focus of that ATV. Various work on ships' weapons. Environments have been working on the truck stops and planetary outposts for the next patch, getting their building sets completed, as well as creating a system to integrate bases and terrain elements together for faster placement for these structures. I say the next patch, I mean the next major patch before people think it's supposed to be in 2.6.2. Lots of love for visual effects on planetary environments, atmospheric flight effects, and procedurally generated services, thruster effects for the constellation Aquila, interior lighting, and cool damage effects in general have been worked on, making the interior of the constellation there look pretty cool. More work on the user interface stuff, various improvements on foot and in ship for that. The new kiosk shopping interfaces are being worked on and getting ready for all locations and appropriate shops. There is various new audio for the Dragonfly, the Aquila, the Buccaneer and Prospector, as well as more work to the music composition of Star Citizen, speech processing work, audio fixes, Foley work for noises on different material types being interacted with. So that could be you running on metal and then running on sand, as well as shooting those two different materials. So there was also a little look at level design there as well. If you're interested on how they iterate and design levels, take a look at that. I'll leave the time code in the description. There was also a special edition 10 for the Chairman looking at professions and mining and that sort of stuff, specifically with a kind of vibe towards 3.0 and cargo as well. They do talk about salvage a lot in that, and I've kind of done a breakdown of that video, link in the description, because there's quite a lot of information they imparted there. Some other news, so from Happy Hour Quantum Questions and Twitter, once the Cutlass Black rework is finished, they're going to move on to straightway to the Cutlass Red and Blue. The next concept sale is going to be a new Banu ship. It should be going on sale by the end of March, and we should also see some more information or art, or both, on the Banu Merchantman then too. They will be updating the star map with new renders and syncing it with the Galactopedia, which kind of describes events, history, and has loads of information in. So that star map's going to be a lot more useful and impart a lot more information to us very soon. The Galaxy Room map for hangars is still going to be a thing in the future that we will be able to get, but it is like longer term, I believe. Elizabeth Maxwell, voice of various games and animes, is doing some motion capture as well for Star Citizen. I'm assuming also voice work for CIG. So she put a tweet out, which I'll put on the screen, saying Major Maxwell reporting for duty, hashtag Star Citizen, hashtag mocap, hashtag Cloud Imperium Games. That's quite exciting because I really like her voices for Bishamon, I can't say the words, Albedo in Overlord. Oh, that's superb. Sneaky Peekies, Yellow Afternoon. So take a rare glimpse at the afternoon sun over yellow water vapours from cryovolcanoes fall back onto the moon's surface, coating it in a snow-like substance. This was a cool little concept picture of the yellow surface. I really like this, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing some of these moons and environments in the next major patch. Afterthoughts. So, we're going to take a look at the monthly report during the week, but the new way CIG seem to be doing the report is by giving information during the around the verses, which we already cover in the news. So if you take a look at the previous 3 weeks' news I've done, we've already kind of covered the monthly report, but we'll see what we can do, because they amalgamate it and add a couple more videos and add some more bits and bobs. So we'll see what value that I can add to that when we cover that next week. Remember, commenting on any of our videos during a given month gives you a chance to win a ship during March. That is an Avenger Titan. So tell me what you're looking forward to with the FPS weapons. Do you like the idea of having those railguns and more types of weapon in the game, or do you want ships more, or don't you really care? Do you think we've already got enough weapons? I don't know. What do you think about the new Banu ship that's gonna go on sale? What do you think that's gonna be? What do you think of the ship and visuals that we saw from Around the Verse this week? Do you like the current format of Around the Verse as well? Because I think that the ones lately have been superb. But tell me what you think. If so inclined, you can support the channel further on patreon.com/boredgamer. Every dollar helps and gets you some little perky perks. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. as it really does help me. And thank you very much, and I'll see you in the verse.